Sobahul Kheir, everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, everybody. And today we have a question and it reads: Assalamu alaikum, Ustaz. Is it true that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that the Ummah is going to be divided into 73 groups and only one is in heaven? Whoa, this is a difficult one, but let's break this down, inshallah. Firstly, ladies and gentlemen, there are many hadiths, many narrations that convey this information. But from the perspective of its content, there are two important aspects. Many narrations mention the first portion, which is that indeed the past communities were divided into many groups, and then the Prophet ﷺ said, as for my ummah, they are going to be divided into 73 groups. Now this first part, this first information is fairly agreed upon by our scholars from the perspective of its sanad, its narration. However, looking at all of these other narrations as well, there's an extension to the information, and it suggests that all of them are in hellfire except for one. And then you have other information after that as well. Now this bit concerning all in hellfire except one and who they are, this particular part our scholars differ concerning its authenticity. There are scholars who say that this narration, this extension is fairly accepted. But then there are scholars who say that this particular part is in fact weak. Amongst them would be a Sheikh Shu'aib al-Arnaout as well as a Sheikh Ibn al-Wazir. Now why am I telling you this information? Now in my humble opinion, I think that in this particular regard, it is wise that we focus on what is agreed upon, what is considered to be accepted, and to put aside first or to not focus as much one that is debated. So the first portion, fairly accepted. The second portion, a bit debated, right? And this brings us to the second point of this presentation. What should we actually focus on this hadith? Our scholars discuss a number of matters. Firstly, the number 73. A group of scholars say that the number here that the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned is to be taken literally. So in fact, there are going to be 73 sects or 73 groups. And there has been people who've tried to identify group 1, 2, 3 up to 73. A second camp suggests that the number 73 is not supposed to be taken literally, but it's simply a hyperbole to tell us that there is going to be a lot of divisions, that it is going to be even worse than the divisions that happened in the past. Now, the second point, and this is the most practical takeaway I think that we can get from this hadith, it is that knowing that there is going to be division happening at the ends of time, we should always strive towards unity. This is the implied message of this hadith. To be facilitators of unity through understanding, education, and tolerance. The reality is that division and sectarianism is going to be part of the trials and tribulations for this ummah at the ends of time. And it is not the concern of the layperson to excommunicate people or to condemn people, and to be busy with that particular matter. Again, division is greatly blameworthy, but there is something interesting in this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that we need to take note. When the Prophet ﷺ speaks about those who divide or those who are divided, the Prophet still used the term سَتَفْتَرِقُ ummati, that my people shall divide, to remind us that the Prophet ﷺ still attended to this particular matter with care and concern. This is what is going to be happening, and this is worrisome for me because they are still my people. In the famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he reminds us that إِذَا قَالَ الرَّجُلُ هَلَكَ النَّاسِ, if a person says that this person is ruined, this person is deviant, and so on and so forth, indeed he is the one who is most deviant and most ruined. Thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, from an academic standpoint, I do believe that we need to learn about sectarianisms and deviations and groups in Islam. Again, not for the sake of excommunicating people and condemning people and so on and so forth, but to fortify our own belief, to strengthen our own principles. If we claim that we are truly Sunnis, a member of Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah, then ask yourself, like, what does it actually mean to be a Sunni? So learn all of these sects, learn about your own principles for the purpose of educating your own self and to ensure that you are always on the truth. So Allah Ta'ala a'la wa a'lam, ladies and gentlemen, that hadith is a profound hadith, it's an important hadith, but we need to get the message right. I hope that you have benefited from this particular video. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, please do like, subscribe, share this particular video around. I'll see you guys in the next one, inshallah.